Thank God for Claire.
I shouldn't be allowed out, should I?
No. Not unsupervised anyway.
No. So it has. Oh, there we are. So I have to tell you, you're all being recorded. I hope you're fine. Hi, Judith. Right, let's start. I have to keep an eye on it for when anybody else joins. I can see you all brilliantly now. You're on my telly instead of my laptop. Right. We're going to do today, we're doing hips for me and Claire. We're doing
Closed.
for Tanga. So we're mixing everything up.
Uh-oh.
Carol,
Turn
everybody
your
needs
toes
to mute.
They do. Can you all mute, please? Or can I mute you? Oh, you've done it. Well done. Thank you.
Carol, can you go on to Spotlight?
Yes, I think I am on Spotlight already. Yeah, I'm on Spotlight. Oh, hold on, I was not. Oh, is that better? Here we go then. So, starting with our feet together, turn your toes out at 10 to 2, lift your heels behind, same as always. Lift the head neck by pulling up through the middle of the head. So from the side, it looks like this. You've not got your chin lifted or dropped. It's slightly retracted. And then we want to take our shoulders up, back and down. And then just shake them off, give them a wiggle to make them comfortable. And now we want our neutral spine. So hands on your hips, stick your bum. Just mobilization as well. Lovely. So I can see you all brilliantly. Well done. Okay, now make that smaller and smaller until you have your neutral spine. And now we want to engage the core. So you go from relaxed, if you put your hand on your belly and cough, and as you cough, just bring it in. So it's a small movement, but it does make you look about half a stone lighter. And now the pelvic floor is inside, nobody can see it, nobody knows you're working it or not, so lift it up inside and lower it down and lift it up again, lower it down halfway, a little bit more, so it's 30%, and that's where we work. And so now we're going to move on to mobilization. It's absolute setup position and nothing moves except the bit I ask. So we will inhale, and as we exhale, we turn our face to the right, mobilizing just the neck, so nothing else is moving. And then inhale back and exhale across to the other side. Keep that. And again, this is beautiful mobilization that should not hurt tension only. Turn that off. And you can do this anytime while you're waiting at the traffic lights in the car, while you're waiting for the kettle to boil, whatever. Now we're going to look up to the ceiling, which always makes me and Jane cough. And then lower it down, chin to chest. So for all of you on Facebook and Instagram, keep going girls, I want you to remember that you must not do any of these exercises unless you have been cleared for exercise by your doctor or physiotherapist, and you only go up to, not into pain, and then these exercises will make you feel better, not worse. Okay, now we move the shoulders. So imagine a pencil on here and on here, and just do a small circle. We always do small first, and then when small is good, Georgia's here. When small is good, then you make it bigger. Hi, Georgia. and change directions. Hi, Georgia. So I reckon now you're all here, I can move that. That's it, got more room now. Brilliant. Okay, now we're going to bring the whole arm in. So you always start with a small range of movement. And as long as it doesn't hurt, you go bigger and bigger. And again, you always make sure you have a space around you, that you're not going to knock anything flying. Have you seen my board? And change direction. Go back to small and then make it bigger. Alison, I can see you on here on Instagram. Didn't you get the email sent to Rocket Mail? Okay, now we're going to do the lovely, lovely Barbara Windsor, bless her. Short, long, short, long, short, long. Everything is shoulder height. So in other words, not down here, up here. Brilliant. And diagonal, which is lovely because I did a lot of exercise and I was a bit tight here, but that feels great. And then we move down the body a little bit to the waist. So we circle the hips, keeping them facing the front, keeping the core engaged, pelvic floor lifted, neck still lengthened. And you go as big as you like. And somebody else is trying to come on board. Lovely. Change direction. Okay, let's slide one arm down the side and back up. Down the side and back up. Keep that movement going. Okay, now, if that didn't hurt, we're going to take the whole of the top half around the bottom. Start with a small range of movement, and then as long as that doesn't hurt, you make it bigger. And by the time you could be going all the way down the front, nice and slowly, and giving a big stretch all down the back of the legs and into the bum. Not too quickly, nice and slow and controlled. And then let's change direction again, small first. And as long as that doesn't hurt, you can go a bit bigger. Brilliant. Okay, we're going to do some leg swinging because we are working on the hips today. So if you need help with your balance, have your arms out and just gently swing the leg front to back, keeping the toe facing forward. And if you go too far and you have to bend the standing leg, you're overdoing it. So you keep the standing leg not locked, but straight. And then the difficult one, side to side. It's quite hard to balance when you're doing this. Keep the core tight. Whoops. Brilliant. And let's change legs. So again, front to back, keeping that toe facing up, keeping the standing leg straight but not locked. Wonderful. And side to side. So this is mobilizing the hips. Most of the exercises we're doing for the hips are mobilization anyway. Lovely job. Now let's just put your feet together a minute and just bob like this, bobbing up and down. So we're just stretching the calf muscles. And then corner to corner to corner, as if you were skiing. Lovely. Now up onto your toes and lift your toes. Up onto your toes and lift them. And then let's circle the ankles. Circle the ankle. And the other one. Brilliant. Okay, we're going to start with a knee exercise because, as I've said a few times, if you have problems with your knees, what you need to do is strengthen the muscles going into them and into them. And a great one for this, which is also, I'll tell you, it does other things, it's a balance. So if we start with our arms out, lift the knee so that the thigh is parallel with the ceiling, flex the foot, and then we're going to straighten the leg and bend it. Nice and slow. If this is too easy balance-wise, you could go here or here. Because we always need to practice our balance. So I presume you can feel that thigh muscle really working now. And then when you're up here, you're getting a stretch all down the back of the leg. Spread your toes out on the standing foot. Brace your core, which means core engaged. Brilliant. And put that one down. Can you feel this working? This is your hip flexor and your thigh muscles really working there. So kick your bum. Okay, now we're going to do the other leg. So get your balance. Bring the thigh up to parallel with the ceiling. Once you've got your balance, then you can straighten the leg and bend it. Brilliant. Mine's clicking on this side, but I'm not worried about it clicking. I know it's killer. Brilliant. And bring it down. And again, just kick your bum. Okay, so the next one, and this is slow. So we did the quick leg swings to warm up. Now we're going to be taking the leg away, keeping the toe facing forward, but slowly. And if you don't want to relax in between, don't take it all the way down to here. Take it here and leave it off the floor and take it up. Now you can feel, as long as your foot's facing the front, you will feel all the outer thigh working now. If you turn your toe out, you'll be able to go further, but you're using different muscles. So we were working the knee on the first one, and this is working the hip. Rest when you need to. Looking good though. Okay, I'm going to change sides and upgrade it a little bit, which is progressive. So take my arms up here because it makes the balance harder. Still got the core engaged. Looking good. Brilliant. And again, just shake it off, shake it off. So we've done the knees for Georgia, we've done the hips for me and Claire. Now we're doing the upper back for Tanda. So have your palms to the back of the room, shoulders down and back, and then as though we're trying to cross the hands over, but with the arms straight, it won't happen. I've been doing this for quite a while. It's killer. Looks really easy. So from here, I've got my shoulders down and back, pulsing, keep pulsing, keep pulsing. You feel this chest stretching and these upper back muscles working. If you want to do it on tiptoes, just to use a few more muscles, you're very welcome. Okay, rest, shake it off. We're doing this a few times. And off we go again. So keeping the shoulders down and back. Still got the Pilates breath. In for 4 through the nose, out for 4 through the mouth. Rest when you need to. And relax. We're going to do that one more time. Okay, palms down. Make sure you get the shoulders down and back. Oh yeah, feel this now. Great. Okay. Brilliant. Shake it off. Now you can also feel that your triceps, which are your bingo wings, have been working as well. So let's just stretch them up a little bit. That's it, Judith. Well done. And the other side. Brilliant. Shake it off. Right, the next one for the upper back. We'll have your arms out to a T and then bring them at right angles, and I'll show you from behind. I'm going to be pressing back, back, back. So from the side it looks like this. Press, 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 press. Keep going. Pulse, pulse, pulse. You don't need to bring them forward to relax. You can keep them under pressure back here. Feel that upper back working. Oh, I just lost somebody. Oh, and wow, gosh, shake it off. It's killer, isn't it? Blimey. And we're going to do that again. So arms out to a T. Well, welcome back. And then press, press, press. Oh, hi, Georgia. Press, press. So if from the side they're going like this, not down here, they're staying high. So it's isolating your upper back. Rest when you need to. Well done. Oh, and relax it down. To stretch this off, take one arm out in front, cross it over the body and just bring it round a bit, pull it round a little bit, not too violent or brutal. And shake it off. Same on the other side. Okay, so Facebook, I'm going to turn you off now. I hope to see you again next week. If you want to come to the full 1 hour class, please message me. And I'm going to end now. Okay, same for Instagram, only I'm worried about you, Alison, because you can't get on Teams. This is a bit of a pain. Did you get the link, Alison? Okay, ta-ta, Instagram, see you next week. Okay, don't know what's happened there. Right. We're moving on now to a big knee strengthener. So if anybody's worried about squats, lunges, you can do squats. Yeah. I can hear somebody. Right, so we're doing squats, which is a massive strengthener for the thighs and the bum. And this is to help you and support your knees. Okay, so I'm going to do lunges. Does anybody want to do squats instead of lunges? All that squats does, you're still using the same muscles, but you're sharing it equally between each leg, whereas lunges, you tend to use one leg more than the other. Okay, so I'm going to step back into my lunge. So take a big step back. And if I look at you from the front, if you look, my feet are hip distance apart. So from the side, arms out for balance, and then slowly lower yourself down till your knees nearly on the floor, and then back up. And in. And step back. And lower. Really slowly. And back up. And bring it in. Keep that movement going. Oh, Alison's found us. Great. Keep that movement going, nice and slow. Can't see you, Alison, but I can hear you. I know you're here.
Hello.
Hi. I can't see you. Can you see me?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, well done. And back. Again, it's harder to balance with your arms up here, but that's up to you. You can have them here to help with the balance, or here to make it more difficult. I'm still, hi Alison. I'm still using the same leg because I want to. Okay, I'm going to do a couple more and then I'm going to change legs. So can you get your arms up straight by your ears if they're up here? Last one for me. And then I'm going to shake it off and change sides. Oh, it feels different on this side. And lower slowly and raise slowly and back in. So as you can see, this is a balance as well. You should still have your core engaged. Your shoulders, even if your hands are up here, your shoulders are still down and back. And one here. How are we feeling? Rest if you need, if you need to. So I'm really pleased because that means none of you got hurty knees, because some of the guys have got bad knees, so they would be doing squats instead, just to share the weight. Okay, I'm going to do a couple more. Brilliant. Okay, how's that? Good, all right? Kick your bum a bit. Now you need to grab that thing that's going to go under your legs. I've got a roller. I've also got cushions. I've got this. Anything that you can put under your knee. So this is actually easier than all the others, but specifically, Georgia, if you were sitting there watching telly with the family, you can't be standing up doing lunges, but you could be doing this. So, can you see I've got my one leg resting over something? You can relax your upper body. So, point your toe straight up to the ceiling, not left or right, straight up. And then simply raise your foot using all these thigh muscles and lower it down. And you have to do this super slow. And you don't need to touch the floor with your heel for a rest. You can just hover. So this is something you can do while watching telly, because if you can see, you can even do this at the breakfast table. You don't actually need to be sat on the floor to do it. So you can do this while you're watching telly, you can do this while you're talking on the phone, while I'm watching the puppies. Okay. And that's why we're showing you this one, but it is easier than the lunges, but okay, I'm going to swap legs now. So I put it under the other leg. Nice and slow. But I've still got my core engaged, still got my shoulders down and back. Brilliant. Okay, so I've ditched that now. The next one, again, if you're sitting, you could do this lying down, which is quite relaxing. But I'm going to do it sitting up because I want to work more muscles. So I will be working the core because I'm sat up, and I'm leaning back on my hands. Both of my knees are up towards the ceiling. I'm going to imagine I've got this wheel underneath my heel, and I'm going to wheel this leg out. My foot, again, is straight up to the ceiling, and then I'm going to raise that leg. So we're working all these thigh muscles and the hip flexors, and then you wheel it back in. If you want to change legs and alternate, you can, but it's a bit more gruesome if you stick with the same leg. And if you've got your core engaged, shoulders down and back, nice and controlled and slow. So we have 16 people coming to the fundraiser so far at Bowling Green. Okay, that's killing my thigh now. I don't know about anybody else. I'm going to do one more. And then I'm changing legs. So remember, if you want to, you can alternate legs each time. Just makes it that little bit easier, but not totally easy. I'm not resting my foot on the floor at all. Just, it's almost like I can just feel skin on the floor. Brilliant. Right, we're going to give the lower body a rest, and we're going to go on to the upper back now. So you can lie down on the floor. I don't know if you remember, Tanda, but this is the one that you did so well that I videoed it and put it on Facebook. Do you remember? It's this one where we're lying down relaxed. You can have your legs straight or bent, it doesn't matter. Hands palm to palm towards the ceiling, and then you're going to push your palms as much as you can towards the ceiling, as high as they can, so that you're trying to get your fingertips to touch the ceiling, and your back is now rounded. Now we're going to do the opposite to that by bringing those shoulder blades and then the pointy shoulders down to the floor, and then you're trying to lift your spine off the floor, but your shoulders always stay in contact. And then stretch the fingertips to the ceiling. Let me have a look at you. So it's quite a small movement, but it's doing loads. Looking good. So it's as though you're trying to make a little tunnel down your spine, as if you wanted a little wee train to go down there from the top of your head. Right, the next one, when you take your hands up to the ceiling, you can cross one over the other, and then back, and then shoulders down to the floor. And then the next time you push the fingers up to the ceiling, you take the other arm across. So you're stretching the upper back even more, and then strengthening it when you're trying to lift your spine off the floor. So we have done this with bands as well, but I know not all of you have bands. I have been trying to get some more, but I can't get the same. Looking good. Okay, we're going to change it slightly, something we've not done before. If you can have a quick look from this end. So now instead I'm going to push my hands as we did before up to the ceiling, so I'm rounding my back, but then I'm bringing them down to the ceiling and taking them out to the side and pressing the backs of my hands into the floor and trying to lift my back off the floor. And then back up to the middle, hands go up to the ceiling. Bringing the shoulder blades down, take the arms out to the side, press the backs of the hands to the floor and lifting the back. Your head always stays on the floor. Brilliant. I'll join in now. Smashing. Okay, lovely job. Give them a little shake. And then we're going to go back down to working the hips again now with the good old clam. So we're lying on our side. I've got my head on my arm as a pillow. Other hand is on my hip. But the first thing I want to do is make sure you've got your hips level. So imagine there's a candle underneath your waist, which will just take that top hip from here to here. I presume you can see. Yeah, to here. Legs are bent. We're going to keep the feet together and open up the knees and lower them. Again, you don't have to rest in between each one. You could slightly hover just to keep the pressure on. So I'm going to do about 10. So I'm not very good at counting. I think that's 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, and now I'm going to pulse at the top for 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then I'm going back down 10 slow. So you'll notice that I'm not lifting my leg off the floor at all, because actually my hip's not that brilliant, if I'm honest. But you could be lifting your feet off the floor. I'm not going to do it. I think it's actually all my hamstrings that are hurting, not my actual hip, but it kills, so I'm not doing it. Still got your core engaged. Arms and shoulders should be relaxed. And now I'm going to pulse for 10. Brilliant. Wow, yeah. So that's that. You can feel that, can't you, in your bum and your hip and everything. Okay, grab that trainer or whatever it was we're going to use, because we're going to do single leg circles of 2 different sorts. So, one leg up to the ceiling with your something or other on the top, and the other leg is going to do single leg circles. Do a small one first, and then go as big as you can without dropping the trainer. Keep the core engaged. If the back lifts off the floor at all, make the movement smaller. And I'm going to actually do a whole 10 in one direction, nice and slow, and then change direction for 10. And I'm on 4. I think that's cheating putting the sock on. You're not supposed to be wearing the trainer, it's supposed to be relaxing on the top. You cracked it, all of you. And now I'm changing direction, same leg. So if you've got your core engaged, this is giving you a really good workout on one side more than the other, which is brilliant. I find this way easier than the other way. Okay, and we're going to swap legs. If you've done your 10, I have. Nobody dropped it, did they? Well done. So it's the leg that's it, the leg that hasn't got, that's it, Julie. So it can be quite a big circle once you've done the little one to warm up. And I'm changing direction up to 10. This is obviously the naughty side. Brilliant. Okay, shake the legs off. And just to stretch them off, if you can see, I've got my knees bent and I'm just rocking side to side. Lovely. Right, for the hips again, we're going to do shoulder bridge. with a bit of a difference. I've got my feet together and my knees together. I'm going to do a couple of shoulder bridges first just to warm up, and then the actual exercise is when you're up here, you take the knees wide and together. So from the side it looks like this. Let's all just go up and do a couple of shoulder bridges first with a flat back, making sure you've got a slight pelvic tilt which will take any pressure off your back. If anybody's back hurts when you do shoulder bridge because you're squeezing your vertebrae, if you just do a slight pelvic tilt, that will lose that pain. Okay, I've done a couple, I'm ready. I'm now going to lift into my shoulder bridge and then knees wide together, keeping that without dropping the hips at all. Wide together, wide together, wide together. I'll tell you what, if anybody wants to, you could bring the arms in by having your hands together palm to palm. As you take knees wide, you can take the arms wide. If you want to, it just uses a few more muscles, I like to multitask. Rest if you come down, have a quick rest. In fact, we'll all come down, bring one knee into your chest, other knee into your chest, and roll around. Give that back a break, not literally. Okay, and back into position. So feet together, knees together, arms up towards the ceiling if you want to, add the extra bit in. Now build your bridge up, slight pelvic tilt to ease the back off, and then we're taking both knees and hands wide together, keeping that bum high, keeping the hips high. Core engaged, pelvic floor squeezed up. There shouldn't be any pressure on your neck, it's all on your shoulders. Looking good. I'm now clenching my fists as well now. I'm thinking, well, let's bring some more muscles into play. Brilliant. Okay, I'm now going to come down because my inner thighs are killing. Bring one knee into your chest, other knee into your chest, roll around on your spine. So to stretch the inner thighs off, leave one knee pulled into your chest, straighten the other leg down, and just twist the knee around a little bit. Have you noticed it's nearly 7 o'clock and it's still light outside? Woohoo! So the night of our fundraiser, it's 7 till 8 o'clock because at 7:47 we should be having the sunset. And when I went up there, to change direction, just to turn the knee the other way. When I went up there to view the venue, I missed the sunset because I thought, well, if it says it's at 6:30, it really means 7:45, but it didn't. It really meant 6:30, so I missed it. Bring the other leg in, pull it tight into your chest, move the knee round a little bit. So we just got to really pray for a clear night, and it won't be warm up there, I'm sure, because it's quite open, so you need to be wearing layers. So I'll be wearing a couple of pairs of trousers, stretchy trousers, and I'll be wearing long sleeve tops. Maybe a hat, maybe gloves, maybe a hot water bottle. Okay, we're going to do scissors now. Scissors, there's so many levels. the scissors. You can bring one leg up to tabletop, bring the other leg to tabletop, and I know you're all at least at this level. So then, as long as your back doesn't come off the floor, you take one heel to the floor. Not a knee movement, it's a hip movement. Okay, so there's the basic. Let me have a look at you. Now remember that the longer your leg is, the heavier the lever is, therefore the harder it is. So if you want your legs straight up to the air, you could bring one down and then the other down. But then just check your back. Is it coming off the floor? If it is coming off the floor, go back to bent knees. Next level of scissors, if you want to, you can bring your head and shoulders up and you can take one leg down and then the other leg down, but in a smoother motion of scissors rather than one than the other. So they're crossing over. And again, finally, if you want to add another level, you can bring the arms in as well. So your arms are going and your legs are going. Nice and controlled. Now my feet aren't touching the floor in between each one, so I'm not having a rest. Keep that movement smooth. Keep the core engaged. You've all swapped round on the screen. The only one in the same place, I think, is Claire. And if you want to get a good stretch down the back of the leg, then you flex the feet, which is the opposite to pointy. If your neck's aching, you put your head back on the floor. So many options. When you need to rest, hug your knees into your chest, roll around on your spine, and come back into it again for a few more of your version. If you've started to tire and your back's coming off the floor, simply make the movement a little bit easier by undoing one of those progressions you've done. So you could go back to bent legs. And I would expect some of you to have bent legs actually, and I can see that you have, so that's brilliant. Lovely. I'm finishing now. Hugging my knees into my chest, rolling around on the spine. I'm going to straighten one leg down. And then swap legs. Okay, so now we need to do the clam on the other side. So I have to change around so that you can still see me. And I'm actually going to have a quick drink now as well. Hot water. Okie dokie. So clam on this side might be different, easier, harder, whichever. Making sure your hips are straight up to the ceiling. Making sure you're pretending you've got a candle under that waist on the floor. And we do 10 slow. Again, I'm not relaxing in between each one. Oh, we'll all move around again. Okay, now I'm pulsing for 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And back down. And pulse. 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 And 10 long and slow. This side's much easier for me than the other. And finally, 10 more pulses. Oh, Brilliant. And I'm dropping that top knee to the floor and relaxing. Okay, we're going back to upper back, which is a good old swan dive. If you remember swan dive, you've got your face, forehead on the floor, arms out to a T. I've got my legs together. Then I bring my hands up and I'm going to float my head and shoulders off the floor, and I'm keeping my forearms on the floor for now. And then relax back down. And I can't see any of you at the moment. You're all on the floor off screen. Okay, now I've done a couple there. I can actually lift my arms off the floor as well. So it's really working your upper back and your lower back, all of your back. And if you want to progress that move, as you lift, you can stay up there, take the arms up above the head, back down and lower. I can't see any of you, you're all on the floor and your camera is completely missing you. Anyway, if you've got your feet together, that's great, knees together. And if you want to progress it by lifting your legs as well, you're very welcome. That's now using your bum and your hamstrings as well. If you need to rest, go into child pose. Okay, I'm going to do two more. And one more. And relax. And then I'm going to go into child pose. Got one more exercise and then we stretch. Okay, so we're coming up into box. It's the fire hydrant, if you like, dog wheeling up a fire hydrant. So I'm in a nice box position. I've got the weight evenly distributed between both my hands and both my knees. All I'm going to do is lift one knee off the floor a centimetre and take the knee out. I don't know if you see it better from the side. And back in. But I want to keep my back flat. So I'm not trying to lift, just look at my bum. I'm not trying to lift my bum like this. I'm trying to keep my hips level and swing the leg. So it's all in the hip, not in the back. Brilliant. And again, I'm not bringing my knee all the way back to base because I want to keep this strength on. Core engaged. Keep the neck lengthened. Shoulders should be down and back, not to round heels. Brilliant. I'm going to change sides. The side here is easier for me. I don't know why. Looking good. And relax. I'm going to go into child pose, but because I want to do my hips, I'm going to go wide leg child pose. So my feet are together, knees are wide, and relax into child pose. and just literally relax. So a lot of those exercises, we're really using your inner thighs. So now we're stretching them off as well. Lovely. And coming back up to box, we really need to stretch those hip flexors off, which are these at the front. So from kneeling, reach forward with one leg, making sure that your feet and knees are still hip distance apart, so you don't fall over. Face the front, and then just relax down into it. And I mean relax, 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 relax. All move around again. It's like musical screams. Okay, come out of that one and swap sides. Everybody feel okay? Give me the thumbs up. Brilliant, thank you. Okay, come back to kneeling. We've stretched the upper back off. Again, back to this first one that we did. Did you hear that? And same the other side. Brilliant. And relax up. We're going to come up to standing. And we're going to go back to what we started with, swinging the leg side to side for the hips. And the other leg. Brilliant. Kick your bum. And bring your knee up to your chest. Brilliant. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Up onto your toes. Walk around. Brilliant. If you want to unmute yourself so I can hear, we can talk to each other, that'd be brilliant. Or do I unmute you all? I don't know.
There was a lot of background noise, Carol, like static humming all the time.
Was there?
Yes.
Ooh, I said, I don't know what that could be.
I didn't have any of that.
Yeah, I got it as well. Something going round and round. It's all.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, somebody had said, I don't know what that could be.
It could be
still
the
there
fan
now?
on your computer.
No?
No,
Oh, I can't hear it.
I heard nothing. That's weird.
No, I can't hear anything off the computer. Is it still there now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have absolutely no idea what that's got to be Zoom then.
Well,
Maybe.
I've had it before. I've had it most times. Even
Yeah,
when
me
we
too.
were on Instagram.
Yeah. There it is again now. I can hear it again now.
I can't.
It's all right. I can still hear you.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna stop the recording while we're jabbering. Oops. Stop recording. There we go.